Hey, how's it going, guys? Sergi Dez here. Um, just want to put some content out, talk about a few things with you guys, and like, subscribe, dislike, comment, disagree, agree, all the above. I'm welcoming it. So I just want to talk a little bit about like the climate and what's been going on in America. Really, there's a lot of stuff all around the world right now. It's 2020, June 16th, so you know if you're watching this and like it's 5 years later, then yeah, you probably know why I'm making this video. But yeah, so just want to be brief, kind of touch on some stuff. So one thing I've been noticing a lot is that you have a big bipartisan polarized government. You literally have Democrats and Republicans, and it's gotten to the point where it feels almost like New York Giants versus New England Patriots. Like the same way the fans hate each other, and it's very like back and forth. Yeah, and I think that's bad because at the end of the day, people might have their party views and they might support who they choose to support, and we need to accept that about each other. Because at the end of the day, a party and who you politically agree with it doesn't define a person in total. You know, that being said, it also stops you from gaining knowledge or having open dialogue. And I believe that we need to open dialogue again, and we need to bridge the Democratic and Republican parties together because what are we gonna do if this turns worse? What are we gonna do if like we have just worst case scenarios go down? So I believe that the the country needs to come back together, and I don't know how exactly we do it because it's so much looking out for your own interests that it's gotten to the point where if they're not going to look out for my interests, why should I even consider looking out for theirs? And that being said, you know, I truly believe that it's going to take something really bad. And I think we've kind of been seeing that now because with the pandemic happening, it kind of made the whole country for a split second, especially when it first came. The country was like, oh, yeah, we need to shut down, we need to lock in. And it came to a very strong conclusion that this may be a pandemic that kills a lot of people. And it turned out it didn't. So after that week passed, and a couple more weeks passed, you started noticing, you've had more red states than blue states wanting to open up, wanting to have people have the right to choose whether or not to quarantine. And then you have the Dems on the blue states who are more like, well, let's hold off, let's take our time, let's do phases. And I'm pretty sure it's debatable on both sides who's doing it right and who's doing it wrong, but it's in the interest of the people. So at the end of the day, it's like, if it's in the interest for the people, we need to keep that in mind as well. So, and I understand that we should be getting back to work, but at the same time, if we're taking all the risk when we all die and the government doesn't do nothing, then, you know, what's the point of working in the first place? And I do believe, we are taxpayers. People pay the taxes. People do what they got to do. So at the end of the day, they should be able to choose. But at the same time, the government should help the country, the people who live here and the people who occupy the space because it's a responsibility of the government, And I believe now that the polarization between the Democrats and the Republicans is just so toxic that it's like a bad relationship, And I don't know how you turn it around, and I don't know because change comes from within. So at the end of the day, these parties and these organizations, they're like institutions, and each party and organization has their own agendas that they want to accomplish. And remember, their agendas are short term and long term. So they want to see in America a certain way in years to come, and same for both parties, you know? But I do believe we need to find the ground of mutual space and see what we can agree to disagree on, because at the end of the day, it's like if you're pro-life and I'm pro-choice, we have differences of opinion, yes, and we both have a strong opinion on what is right, but at the same time, we also have to respect each other's opinions and give each other the benefit of the doubt to know, okay, well, if this person does choose to have this political point of view or this bias towards the subject, then that doesn't encompass their whole personality or who they are or what they're about. Because, you can meet a doctor, who's a really good doctor, but maybe their personality is just like terrible. What if they're just not people? They're more into animals, and when they do talk to people, they're kind of come off as snotty or arrogant. And even though he may be a great doctor and he has an arrogant personality, you do know he's doing work, he's saving people, and yeah, I don't want to ramble about that though. So, but anyway, guys, I just wanted to give my opinion, on this whole Republican Democratic stuff. I do believe that the polarizing of the two parties is not the way to go, and I do believe that in 10, 15, 20 years, some change, we are going to either be a lot more polarized than we are now, which we can only imagine what that may look like, or we do bridge with each other again and come to great compromises and, decisions that benefit all of us. Because at the end of the day, it's like, and I'll just end off on this, okay? So this is a heavy topic, and I know I might get some comments for this, but you have immigrants, right? And some are legal, some are illegal. Now, when it comes to legally entering the country, it basically is a process. You go through a whole procedure, and then you come out of it, and willingly, if everything goes right, you end up with citizenship, and you're still an immigrant. And then you have those who come in illegally, which basically they find someone to help them get into the country illegally, find someone who produces documents, and they basically, get into the country. Maybe they had to escape a crazy world that they were in when they were in their own country. So sometimes it seems like it may not have came from a choice. It's like, I got a family, everything's crazy here, America, fuck, I'm gonna go there. So, but when it came to how they went about, deportations and doing all that stuff, the approach was that, well, if you're illegal, we're gonna have to take you out. And if we can't take you out right away, we're gonna put you in some camps that you're gonna have to stay at until you get citizenship, or however they were doing it. Because the thing is, we're not there. I'm not there, so I can't speak on it as if I'm the Homeland Security officer walking around patrolling those areas. So just keeping that in mind. And, I do believe that, the innocent people, the honest people are the majority of the world. And we do have the bad apples that exist, that will always exist, they always have existed, and will continue to exist. The world can never get to a perfect place, but we can try with leadership, as we've been doing for the past 50 years, I would say, an excellent job. Some would debate we haven't, but at the end of the day, we're more free today than we were back then. And if you want to debate that, just leave comments. If you want to listen to another video, just let me know. So this is Sergi Des checking out. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's our first content. I'm going to keep trying to put out more, keep talking about subjects, and I hope you guys have a good one. Like and subscribe. Peace.